Provisional accreditation implies that the school has not performed up to expectation in one thematic area. The school scored below 67%. And the reason granted that provisional accreditation is that it's a window. There's an opportunity for the school to rectify whatever anomalies the school is able to meet up within the 6 months. They now invite they will go and then reassess, and if their performance improves, they can be granted full accreditation. So where they fall short of that, that means they have to wait till another 5 years when the opportunity for accreditation and reaccreditation will come up again, and then they'll be reassessed.
Now, I want to know, are there penalties for schools in the FCT operating without accreditation?
There are stages of the registration process. The first is what we call the site inspection. After that, we have commencement of academic activities inspection. Then we have recognition inspection. If a school doesn't have the secondary arm of it, once the school has existed for up to 2 years and has all the facilities, staffing is adequate, and all the records are available, the school can be accredited. Do you understand? So recognition comes in when the school wants to field students for external examinations and our own FCT exam. That's the examination of the locality. Then we carry out what we call recognition inspection. And those are the reports we forward to the examining bodies, which enables them to go and then verify or carry out what we call 560 inspection or accreditation by the different examination bodies before they are given the center.
When are we expecting the next batch of the accreditation exercise, especially now that the FCT Education Secretariat says the exercise will now be done on quarterly basis?
Yes, plans have reached an advanced stage. In fact, we have forwarded the application. As we speak, it's on the table of the permanent secretary. So as soon as approval is given, we write to the team of civil evaluators, invite them for the routine refresher course before we embark on the exercise. And several schools have paid, and many are still paying. So soon is the word.
With a lot being done, you must have encountered some challenges in the course of the discharge of your responsibility. Can you share with us some of those challenges?
I must confess, the FCT administration is trying. Yes, they are doing their best for the department as indeed for other departments of education. The Honorable Minister, Malam Muhammad Musa Bello, the FCT Permanent Secretary, they are doing their best to meet the demands of the department within the resources of the FCT. But we need vehicles because we are field workers. We need functional utility vehicles. We have 7 zonal offices. So, but the problem of adequate budgetary provision is there. So we pray that let there be an improvement in our 2023 budget so that some of our challenges will be met. The biggest is logistics for movement because we are field workers. Our work is based largely on evidence. Although we are into re-evaluation and all that, but after seeing whatever is sent online, there's need for physical verification because there's always a gap between what you see in the photograph and what is on ground and reality. So we are field workers. And another importance of the utility vehicles is that our department is one of the revenue generating departments. The registration in itself is a revenue generating activity, the Federal Capital Territory Administration. So when mobility is a problem, errand schools cannot be easily reached. They need constant reminders going to them to encourage them to pay up for their own government.
Okay, we want to know, what about workforce? Would you say you have enough workforce to carry out your mandates?
In the last 2 years, To be fair to the FCT, our staff strength has improved greatly. Within the last 2 years, we gained up to 150 staff, senior staff, redeployed from other departments of education to DPA. So we're not there yet because some zones, especially those ones in the remote areas, nobody wants to go there like Abaji, Wali. They still need more of municipal zone, Karishi zone, Wari zone, even Fuji and Bogalada. The number of evaluators has increased reasonably. But we don't recruit because it is very senior staff that can engage in the work we do. So we pray. Well, every day more and more come to us and we're happy. There's improvement, but we need more, like Oliver Tracy, so that all our zonal offices will be filled up with evaluators.
Finally, your appeal to school proprietors and parents.
To school proprietors, they should be loyal to government by paying their dues promptly, and unregistered schools should endeavor to register because they are operating illegally. It is an offense to operate without registration. It is an offense. So, and they should try and do the needful. Both the registered and unregistered schools, they both have important roles to play. In the area of revenue generation, they should pay their dues, and the unregistered schools should step forward and register. The unregistrable ones will be closed down. That's the thing. And plans have reached an advanced stage for that also. The unregistrable ones, where there's no alternative, or where there are alternatives rather, unregistrable schools in localities where there are public schools will be closed down. The only ones that might be spared are those ones where there is no public school for the learners to go to. So they should do the needful. And to parents, they should not leave parenting to schools. The teachers and school management, they are guardians when the learners are in school. But after school, teachers cannot follow the learners to the house to play the roles that parents are supposed to play. So they should play their roles well as parents. They should be interested in their children's education, not just paying the school fees. The children's performance should matter to them. Provision of the materials they need and all the school needs for the child to excel. It should be their concern. And they should work hand in hand with their children's schools.
Any additional information you want to share with our viewers?
The additional information is still what I already disclosed, that plans have reached an advanced stage for the next accreditation exercise. We've gone far in the collation of schools that are due for accreditation and re-accreditation. So schools that have expired accreditation should seize this opportunity. And those who have not been accredited at all should also step forward and pay for the exercise, because that is what will grant them full registration status. It's important. Parents who are enlightened, before they enroll their children in any school, they want to know if that school is accredited or not. So it's good. We take it seriously. And schools should know the importance of accreditation and all the different stages of the registration exercise. We are always there for them. We have 7 zonal offices in each area council. Municipal has 2 because of the size. We have one in the municipal zonal office is quartered in City Library, Gudu District Library. And the other arm of it is Karishi zonal office. And they are accommodated in the Department of Mass Education in Cabo. Then all the other ones, they are easy to locate. Each area council has a zonal education office. So they should go to the different zones and kickstart the registration process. for those that are not registered. Whatever activity, even if they come here, we link them up to the different zones and show them what to do.
It's always a pleasure having you on Focus in FCT, ma'am.
Okay, I appreciate you too. Thank you.
This is a wake-up call to all school proprietors to do the needful by ensuring that they get their school accredited. Up next on the program is FCT activities for the past week.
The Department of Solid Minerals and Allied Matters is a newly established department of the FCT administration. Its mandate, the administration says, is to ensure all mining activities in the FCT are properly coordinated for improved internally generated revenue and to boost the socio-economic activities in the territory. In an interview, the pioneer director of the department, Olani Yolaloye, disclosed that there are a lot of illegal mining activities ongoing in the FCT, hence the need to come up with the relevant policies that will address the challenge and enhance the development of the sector.
We are to issue clearance letters to prospective miners, after they've gone through our procedures. We give them clearance letters so that they can proceed to the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel to obtain their licenses. Because if a prospective miner does not come to us and he just go ahead to go and collect license, he has only collected paper. That paper cannot be translated on ground because we will not fold our hands to see people come and destroy the ecosystem within our communities without the host communities having anything to gain.
He says the administration has identified some of the natural resources that need to be harnessed for optimal results.
We have been able to capture about 6 major solid minerals that are commercially available, for mining. And these are gold, granite, iron ore, tin, tantalite, and marble. They are available in commercial quantities. But like you said, these minerals have been there untapped over the years. Now, one of the reasons is because mining operation is a very expensive venture. It requires huge commitment of funds.
Olaloye, however, reveals that the department will embark on awareness campaign and advocacy visits to host communities with a view to creating a conducive environment for genuine miners to operate effectively in the territory. Represented by the FCTA Permanent Secretary Olushade Adeshola, the minister described the late Sakari as a person of wisdom who contributed immensely to the development of his domain, adding that his reign brought peace, stability, and development to Karu Chiefdom and indeed the FCT. He prayed that God grant the late monarch eternal rest and his family, as well as Karu Chiefdom, the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss.
During his lifetime, the Yepuyi Sakari was a very forthright person and a person of great wisdom. We were glad to note the various contributions and the legacies they left behind. However, since it is not possible for everybody to live forever now, we have to live with the sad reality of repayment.
Speaking on behalf of the palace, the district head of Jukwe appreciates the FCT minister for the visit and assures of the continuous harmonious working relationship between the palace and the FCT administration.
The late Zachary was a man of peace and embodiment of wisdom steeped in the culture and tradition of his people.
Senator Philip Tenimu Aduda, in his remark, disclosed that in line with the tradition of the chiefdom, the formal declaration of the transition of the late H2 will be made on Saturday, April 22nd, to be followed by other traditional burial rites.
On our sanitation watch, we shall be beaming our searchlights on the recent cleanup exercise at Kubwa and Day by the Ministerial Tax Team on city sanitation.
Most of the affected structures are kiosks and other structures attached to the perimeter fence of daily livestock markets, as well as furniture used for various trading activities that constitute environmental nuisance and posing security challenge in the community. The Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement, Iharu Atta, says the exercise is to free the areas of traffic gridlock experienced by motorists and other road users plying their axes.
Came under attack because we had to free the traffic, free the bacha and shanties all along the road here, which is what we did, a very strong combined team. And very expectedly, we came under attack because they have been an extremely volatile place with so much illegality, so much criminalities around here. So they came. The true stone injured one or two persons, but largely the area is calm now, very, very calm. Calm have been restored. Those who are criminal elements who try to stop the enforcement have been dispersed and the work are nicely completed.
One of the victims expresses displeasure over what he describes as unfortunate.
They just gave us notice that we should move out of this land. But the people that they came there, that is this environmental board, whatever, when they came, they brought a notice 2 years ago. So they dropped the notice for people. Me, I'll be sleeping then. People come and wake me, but fortunately, before I wake, they have already left.
While the affected persons are still counting lots, the tax team says it is determined to remove all the contravening structures.
I wish to reiterate that the FCT remains safe and we have our confidence in the ability of the security agencies to provide adequate security day and night. And from what we have seen in the immediate past, a lot of successes have been recorded, and I believe they will continue to be recorded, particularly with the provision of these vehicles.
This is where we wrap up this week's episode of the program. Keep a date with us next week, same time, same station. Be vigilant and report suspicious activities around you. Goodbye.
NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative, and interactive on national issues, accommodating all sides of opinions.
We as a people have understood that we have to fight corruption before it fights us back.
Poverty has a financial index, so it should be fought also with a financial weapon. Give it to the Social Investments Program. It has been a very courageous battle.
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.
Nigerian handmade beaded necklaces have come in many different designs and styles. Some are plain strings of beads without any additional beads, using brooches, pendant gemstones, or even crystals. These kinds of details make the African and Nigerian handmade beaded jewelry look more authentic and visually attractive. In the world of fashion, beads have evolved over the years, coming out in more fashionable ways. The 2023 Nigerian Handmade Beaded Jewelry Exhibition, held at the Teusday Exhibition Center, Abuja, was held in Abuja. The exhibition featured 100 handmade beads, 100 designs, and 100 styles. The exhibition was held in Abuja, Women have been known to be associated with different kinds of accessories from ages, and today the use of beads have even become more trending, particularly those of handmade bead necklaces. Now get thrilled with some of the latest trends associated with beads. Nigerian handmade beaded necklaces are truly trending.
On the news tonight, World Malaria Day experts advocate more commitments for relevant authorities to combat malaria. Plus, latest in the world of sports and entertainment. A very good evening to you, and it's good to have you join us on News at 7 on MT Lagos Channel 10. I am Hanuluapo Eliwatoki. The federal government has announced plans to commence the evacuation of thousands of Nigerian students studying in Sudan beginning from today, discussing how safe Nigerians are in Sudan in time of the present crisis. And Good Morning Nigeria, a Nigerian student says they were waiting for buses being facilitated by the Nigerian government. Ekemene Williams has the details.
Thousands of Nigerians studying in Sudan are struggling to get out of the country, where a battle has been raging between the Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces in a battle for supremacy. Joining the program remotely, one of the affected Nigerian students provided an insight into the situation on ground.
Some are really suffering because there are some places, there is no light, there is no water, they don't have food. Actually, it is very sad. Some have already left their houses and they have been sleeping in International African University for like 2 days now.
Abike Dabri Erewa, chairman of NITCOM, spoke on efforts being made by the federal government to evacuate the students.
So as our ambassadors in Cairo, in Ethiopia, in Chad, all working together, NEMA, NITCOM, immigration, everybody working together. And can I correct an impression? Some people have been saying, oh, a war broke up and then a committee was set up. A committee was not set up because of the war. Even before Ukraine, the office of the chief of staff to the president, Ambassador Professor Gambari, actually put in place a standing committee on evacuation. So it's chaired by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, with agencies like MIDCOM, NEMA, Immigration, NIA, and other agencies part of that committee. So it wasn't set up because of this, but it's there, and hopefully it will be reinforced and ensure that maybe have a little funding set aside so that in cases like this, you don't have to wait for a while to make that happen.
Retired diplomats who analyzed the situation said Nigeria has to also mediate the situation for a quick resolution of the crisis to forestall Sudan from becoming another breeding ground for terrorists.
The scandal of anti-democratic forces there will definitely spread and will not be good for even a country like Nigeria. So I think we need to gather other countries of like interest, Nigeria, Chad, neighboring countries, our friends from Saudi Arabia, to really understand this, that peace is the master key to development and progress.
There's mass influx of refugees into Chad, into Egypt, looking at the volatile situation in Chad, that it could spill over to Nigeria. I hope it will not provide a buffer employment zone for Boko Haram and ISWAP, which will further compound the security challenges that Nigeria is facing.
They commended the prompt efforts of federal government in arranging the evacuation process.
In the same vein, tens of thousands of Sudanese are fleeing to other African countries for safety following new gunfire and shelling amid shortage of food and water. Charles Alpha now brings us the latest.
An estimated 10 to 20,000 people have fled the conflict in Sudan's Darfur region to seek refuge in neighboring Chad, Kenya, and Egypt. Majority of those fleeing are women and children who are currently sheltering out in the open. Most pressing needs are water, food, shelter, health care, child protection, and prevention of gender-based violence due to the violence experienced by those crossing the border.
The fighting is ongoing and there hasn't been a ceasefire. Only this morning, people were dying right in front of us. There were people walking by the Nile who died. They were hit by shrapnel from anti-craft gunfire and others that fell into the Nile. Right now, people are leaving. Yesterday, communications were up and running, but there's nothing today.
Eastern Chad already hosts over 400,000 refugees from Sudan, and new arrivals are placing additional strain in the public infrastructure. The World Health Organization in Sudan says there is a high risk of biological hazard after one of the sites in the Sudan fighting seized a laboratory with 459 people killed in the fighting in Sudan and 4,072 injured. Charles.
Away from Sudan, experts are calling for more commitments from the governments and corporate organizations in dealing with the age-long scourge of malaria. This is the World Max Malaria Day. Bukola Akonde tells us more.
World Malaria Day is a day set aside to raise awareness of the global efforts to control and ultimately eradicate malaria. As countries around the globe celebrate the day, there is need for enlightenment of the disease. In Nigeria, malaria remains a significant public health challenge with estimated 97 million cases and 300,000 deaths annually.
What the day is about is to create awareness about malaria, which is a preventable disease. So it's to create awareness about the disease, let people know more about the disease, how it can be prevented, how it can be treated, how to make diagnosis, and basically everything about malaria, and also to improve advocacy concerning malaria with governments of different countries.
Speaking on the day, medical personnel says malaria is a parasitic disease transmitted through the bite of infected mosquitoes.
It's caused by the parasite called Plasmodium species. We have 4 types, basically the Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum. Plasmodium falciparum is the one that is most common in Nigeria as well, and it's transmitted by the Anopheles mosquito, the female Anopheles mosquito.
Adding that the fight against malaria must also include access to diagnosis and treatment. The government, on the other hand, must collaborate with civil organizations to support the fight against the disease, especially in rural areas. The theme for this year's event is Time to Deliver Zero Malaria, Invest, Innovate, and Implement.
Moving on, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo continues a strong advocacy for a just energy transition for Africa and the developing world, stressing that the issue of energy poverty has to be tackled headlong and reflected in the global energy transition conversations in order for African countries to attain middle income status and societal and individual prosperity for its people. State House correspondent Jide Onifade has the reports.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and his entourage arriving at the University of Pennsylvania at the invitation of the university, celebrating 50 years of black studies at the university.
The energy transition in Africa.
The Vice President's speech centers around climate change and a just energy transition, stressing the need to allow African countries fashioned out modest ways of combating climate change.
Having recognized the fact that global zero carbon ambitions cannot be realized without intentional carbon removal technologies and practices, Africa can actually ramp up her own potential to remove carbon at scale through a combination of planned land use and ecosystem management and the engineered removal technologies.
He explains how it is important to turn around challenges to opportunity.
The straight answer is that there does not seem to be a pathway. There isn't a pathway for Africa to provide for its populations, provide well-paying jobs, provide opportunities, etc., if we stay within the globally agreed constraints.
At a panel discussion, the Vice President spoke on the achievements of the administration and the development of critical infrastructure.
Africa, in many ways, has not been treated fairly in conversations. Often, this treatment is a result of simply not understanding Africa.
In the words of another statesman, changes are only effected by a critical mass of reform-minded people who are at work. It's all about Africa and the survival of its people. In Philadelphia,
you're still watching News at 7 on Lagos Channel 10. We'll be back after this timer. Please don't go away.
Rocket Spring from 1xBet. Take part in promotion with cool prizes. Bet on any sports events. Get tickets. Have a chance to win cool prizes. The more you bet, the greater your chances. Use promo code to get a welcome bonus right now.
Can I see your particulars, sir?
Officer, my particulars no dey here.
In that case, you'll have to come with me to the police station.
Officer, you level! Where I for find you something make you take arrange your weekend.
What? Offense number 1, driving without particulars. Offense number 2, trying to bribe an officer of the law. I won't harass Nigerians or take bribe. Change begins with me.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Jackpot of the week. Place bets and hit the jackpot. Log into the 1xBet account. Click on the Take Part button. Place bet and take part in the jackpot draw. Feel like a winner with 1xBet. Use promo code to get a bonus on your first deposit.
Glad to have you back. You're still watching News at 7 on Lagos Channel 10. The Police Service Commission has approved the appointments and deployment of 12 commissioners of police. In a statement, Chairman of the Commission, Solomon Arase, called for greater dedication of national duty from the new commissioners and reminded them that the posting comes with a lot of commitment and innovativeness and loyalty to the country. Now, let's take a peek into the world of entertainment with Omolola Ebenezer.
Afrobeat star David Adeleke, better known as Davido, has penned a note of gratitude to his fans for coming out in their numbers to attend his timeless concert in Lagos. According to the singer, the energy in the concert was everything he could have imagined. He took to his Instagram page recently to share his gratitude to his fans, accompanied by a clip from the concert. The OBO crooner also hinted at his upcoming global tour, stressing how important it is to take the energy from the timeless concert global. He wrote, "Lagos last night, you were truly timeless," he says. Meanwhile, Nollywood actor and reality TV star Toby Bakri has opened up on how he met his wife, Anu. Recently, Toby shared details about his personal life and marriage, including a story of how he crossed paths with his beautiful wife. According to the actor, he first encountered his now wife at an entertainment event where they happened to arrive and leave at the same time. After seeing her twice at the event, he mustered up the courage to strike up a conversation with her, and she agreed to spend time with him. From that point on, their relationship blossomed, leading to their marriage in August 2021. In December of the same year, Bakri and Anu joyfully welcomed their first child, making the beginning of a new chapter in their journey together. And finally, on entertainment news, Canadian actor Saint Von Colosi has passed away at the age of 22 after undergoing 12 cosmetic surgeries to look like BTS singer Jimin. Colosi died at a South Korean hospital after complication from his most recent procedure. He moved from Canada to South Korea in 2019 in pursuit of career in entertainment and went under the knife recently to remove jaw implants he had put in previously, all in a bid to look like BTS singer Jimin. Following the operation, Van Colosi developed an infection and had to be intubated. He died hours later. And that will be all on entertainment news. I am Omolola Ebenezer.
Up next is Sport Updates with Gift George.
Nigeria's under-17 men's football team, the Golden Eaglets, had its first training session at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Algiers ahead of the Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations. The team, which arrived Monday for the tournament, is expected to leave Algiers for Constantine after the mandatory MRI test later Tuesday. The Golden Eaglets were playing in Group B alongside Zambia, Morocco, and South Africa, and the top four at the tournament will qualify to represent Africa at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Still talking football, Ikorodu City Football Club and Robo Football Club emerged winners of the 2023 Lagos FA Cup in the men and women's categories at the finals, which took place at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Mekong. Defending champions Robo Football Club defeated Dana's Ladies 3-0 to retain their title, while in the men's final, Nigerian National League side Ikorodu City, founded just a year ago, beat Smart City Feeders by 2-0 to lift the trophy for the first time.
We're seeing the evolution of football in Lagos, and we're going to all the different crannies.
Meanwhile, selected media personalities lost 3-4 on penalties to team-selected popular comedians in Nigeria after the match ended 3-3 in regulation time. The novelty match was meant to wage war against malaria. Nigeria Special Eagles also added their voice to the cause.
We basically use what Nigerians love, which is football and entertainment. We use it to at least galvanize as many people as possible.
In other news, following the collapse of the floodlight mast of the National Stadium Lagos last week, which led to the temporary closure of the sports complex by the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, stakeholders have appealed to the minister to reconsider his decision.
At least avoid the place that is not bad. Other places are in debt for people to use.
In Taekwondo, selected national athletes have started arriving in Kebbi State, for a 2-week national camping exercise. 32 athletes and 3 coaches are expected to take part in the intensive training. The Nigerian Taekwondo Federation says the camp is focused on keeping the athlete busy and prepared ahead of international competitions. On the foreign scene, former Nigerian basketball captain Ime Udoka will return to coaching in the NBA as the former Bolton Celtics coach has agreed a deal to become the new coach of the Houston Rockets. With Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow across Lagos metropolis. On that note, we wrap up the news at 7. Many thanks for being part of it. Benga Loyede is standing by for the Yoruba translation of the news. I am Hanulua Atuki. Good evening.
Ẹ kú àṣálẹ́, ẹ sì kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀yìn láti iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Gbẹ̀ngàn Olóyèdè ni oníròyìn, ìròyìn rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n mọnú ìgbìmọ̀ karahun ni wọ́n képè fún ọ̀pọ̀ akitiyan ohun ìlàkàkà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀ka onírúurú ìṣèjọba àti tàwọn iléeṣẹ́ aládàáni gbogbo nípa kíkojú ìgbógun ti àrùn ibà tó ti di àrùn ọlọ́jọ́ pípẹ́ sáwùjọ ìlú àti káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè lápapọ̀. Gbólóhùn ọ̀rọ̀ náà ló jẹ́ ọ̀kan pàtàkì tó wáyé látàrí bí gbogbo àgbáyé ṣe ń sàmì ayẹyẹ gbígbógun ti àrùn ibà. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Bùkọ́lá Àkàndé tó mú ìròyìn wá sọ wípé àyájọ́ àrùn ibà ló jẹ́ ọ̀kan pàtàkì tí wọ́n yà sọ́tọ̀ lágbàáyé láti ṣègbàkóso àrùn ibà àti láti rí wípé àrùn náà di ohun àfẹ́yìntì egunláre ń fi ṣọ bí gbogbo àgbáyé ṣe ń sàmì àyájọ́ náà pẹ̀lú ìdí pàtàkì ṣíṣe ìlàlọ́yẹ̀ lórí àrùn náà. Ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, àrùn ibà ló fìdí kalẹ̀ bí òkìtì ọ̀gàn ìpèníjà tó ń yọ àwọn ẹ̀ka ilé ìlera ìlú lẹ́nu pẹ̀lú àkójọpọ̀ ènìyàn tí wọ́n tó ní mílíọ̀nù tí àrùn ibà náà ti ṣekú pa. Ní ìgbà tí wọ́n sọ mí ní méjì ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ní ẹ̀ka ìlera tẹnumọ́ lórí bí àrùn náà ṣe ń tàn ká káàkiri nípasẹ̀ kòkòrò ẹ̀fọn sọ wípé jíjà ìjàkadì pẹ̀lú gbígbógun ti àrùn ibà ní láti mú ìtọ́jú àyẹ̀wò tó péye lọ́wọ́ dání. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìjọba àti àwọn ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ aládàáni gbogbo ní láti ní ìbáṣepọ̀ tó péye láti mú kí àrùn ibà di ohun àfẹ́yìn tí egun ara rẹ̀ ń fi ṣọ. Ìṣèjọba àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti ṣe ìkéde ìlànà láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ kíkó ẹgbẹgbẹ̀rún àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n jẹ́ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Sudan jáde bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti òní tí ń ṣe ọjọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun. Bákan náà mú ètò ìjíròrò lórí bí ààbò tó péye yóò ṣe fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ gbọ̀ngbọ̀n lórí àwọn ènìyàn orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n tẹ̀dó sí orílẹ̀-èdè Sudan nírú bí àsìkò yìí tí rògbòdìyàn milẹ̀ bí àdó olóró. Lórí ètò kan tí wọ́n pè ní Good Morning Nigeria tí iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìjọba àpapọ̀ ń ṣe olùgbọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ ní àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọmọ bíbí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ti sọ wípé àwọn ń retí ọkọ̀ tí ìṣèjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ṣètò kalẹ̀ láti kó wọn jáde. Bákan náà mẹ́wàá àti ẹgbẹgbẹ̀rún àwọn ènìyàn Sudan ṣe ni wọ́n ń sá jáde láti inú ìlú lọ sí àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè òmíràn ní ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ fún ààbò lórí ẹ̀mí látàrí fájínọ́tù ìbọn tó ń ró kólákólà tí wọ́n sì ń fa bí ìkarahun ìgbín láàrin àìtó oúnjẹ àti fífún wọn láti rí omi mu. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Charles Alpha tó mú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn wá sọ wípé bí bàbá èṣù báyìí ni àwọn ènìyàn orílẹ̀-èdè Sudan lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé àti lágbà gbé àpamọ́wọ́ ẹrù wọn tí wọ́n sì dágbére fífi orílẹ̀-èdè bàbá wọn sílẹ̀ gba orílẹ̀-èdè bòmíràn lọ ní ilẹ̀ Áfíríkà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni púpọ̀ nínú àwọn ènìyàn tí wọ́n fẹ́ lọ di ààrẹ ní orílẹ̀-èdè ibòmíràn ni wọ́n kò ní àìtó oúnjẹ àti omi mímu àti fún ààbò tó péye lórí àwọn ọmọ wọn látàrí rògbòdìyàn tó fọná sẹ́nu bíi Ṣàngó Olúkòso ní orílẹ̀-èdè Sudan. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀ ni wọ́n kú wọ́wọ́ níwájú ibùgbé wọn. Bákan náà ni ọ̀pọ̀ tí wọ́n sá lọ kúrò nínú ibùgbé wọn ní òru ọ̀gànjọ́ ni wọ́n kàgbákò ọta ìbọn olóró. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìdágìrì ogun ọ̀hún ló mú púpọ̀ nínú àwọn ènìyàn orílẹ̀-èdè náà gba orílẹ̀-èdè Egypt àti orílẹ̀-èdè Kenya láti lọ forípamọ́ bí ààrẹ sí àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tí wọ́n sá lọ ní ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ tẹ̀kódó táwọn ọlọ́pàá ti bu ọwọ́ lu yíyàn àti ìgbélọ táwọn kọmíṣánná ọlọ́pàá 12 nínú àkọsílẹ̀ ìwé láti ọ̀dọ̀ alága ìgbìmọ̀ táwọn ọlọ́pàá ọ̀gbẹ́ni Solomon Araze képè fún ìgbéga àti jíjọ̀wọ́ ara ẹni fún iṣẹ́ ṣíṣe fún àǹfààní mímú iṣẹ́ tí ènìyàn yàn láàyò lókùnkúndùn láti ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn kọmíṣánná ọlọ́pàá. Bákan náà rán wọn létí láti rí wípé yíyàn àti gbígbé wọn lọ sí ààyè òmíràn ló jẹ́ ọ̀kan pàtàkì tó wáyé nípasẹ̀ ìkúnjú òṣùwọ̀n iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí wọ́n ti gbé ṣe láwùjọ iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá àti ìṣòótọ́ sí iṣẹ́ ṣíṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọlọ́pàá orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Tọ́ òṣòjọ́ ta sùn ta jí tí ò rẹ̀ ni ọpọlọ ọmọdú ànídáràn Gbénga Olóyèdè ń kí yín ire o.
There is a common musical piece flowing from the various cultural displays you have just seen. Did you observe that? It is this member of the woodwind musical instrument shaped like a thin pipe, the flute. Flutes are said to have been found earlier than 4000 BC, as they were made of bones, hooves, horns, reeds, wood, and other natural substances. The word flute comes from the Latin word flutus, meaning breath. It is played by blowing across a hole on one end and plugging certain holes in the body to modify pitch and produce that melodious tune you so much enjoy. In Nigeria, almost all the traditional musical offers have the coloration of the flute. From the north, you have the serewa, the kakakis as the popular ones, sounding off at various gatherings, be it coronations and other forms of festivities. Some communities in the north central have the Gido, the Mwai, to mention but a few. Moving down south, a stop at the Opala community gives a glimpse of the Ofere to accompany their drums and dances, which is found to be similar in structure and sometimes with that of the southeastern people of Nigeria, the Igbos. Every Nigerian culture seems to have its own attraction with the flute. But what is the place of the flute in traditional display?
Yes, like the swanging. Without this flute, there's no swanging. The place of a flutist is a historian. It's an artist. And the flute itself is sparse, because if you hear the melody on this flute, it's sweet. So it spurs you either to dance or to come and show appreciation.
There is always a message with the flute. The flute stands off to cue the dancers and drummers The make of some of the fruits is another interesting story.
This is wood, surely wood, carved. Mostly, the colors carved this. This one is the male guitar. This is the peak. What you see here is the peak, made from brass. The main instrument of guitar is the reed. The bush you see here is the reed. And without this reed, everything here is useless. Whatever you see here is useless because this is the reed dropping from the river side, a special bush known only to trumpeters.
There is only one station that others look up to. A station where professionalism and class come to play. So in whatever we do, be it news, sports, politics, information and culture, even in entertainment, tourism, education, documentaries and kids programming, we set the standard others want to beat. MTA 10, no one does it better. MTA 10, station for excellence.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't miss a wish.
The children are our future, so it's crucial we communicate with them on Family Talk with Lamide. Join us on Family Talk with Lamide as motivational TV personality. Lamide Adenuga delivers leadership and human capacity development content to our future leaders within and outside Nigeria. We also tackle social ills like bullying, drug abuse, peer pressure, depression, internet fraud, and many more. Family Talk with Lamide, it's all about us. Now showing on
You want the best in news, info, and entertainment. NTA 10. NTA 10. Channel, imports, and documentary. NTA 10. NTA 10. Our movies, cartoon, and live talk show. Bad choice, and go for nothing less. Station for excellence. NTA 10, station for excellence.
NTA 10, station for excellence.
best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. Welcome to Fact Face and Forum. My name is Anna Hassan. Peace Isaac Yerokun is not here today, but she'll be with you in our next episode. So, today on Fact Face and Forum, we'll be looking at a key word, parenting. We can never stop talking about parenting. With the world we live in now, where there are negative vices surrounding our children, each day our children go out, we are scared because of the peers they meet and all. Parenting is always a key issue which we'll always continue to talk on the program Factors, Phase and Forum. Today we'll be looking at a key topic on parenting in the 21st century, looking at the effects of nannies and family members on parenting. We have a guest who will do just that. And of course we have our usual segment, which is health, market survey, and my favorite segment, which is entertainment. Before you meet my guest, we'll go on this quick break. Facts, Phase and Forum returns shortly.